Hello everyone, welcome to our next video, and today we are going to discuss about a very interesting question which we all might have thought of, but I don't know if all of us know the answer. What is the taste of onions? If you want to find out, then wait till the intro video is over. Well, onions are characterized by their pungent, strong smell that we get every time we cut an onion. But have you ever noticed that when you take up a raw onion, you never smell anything? Well, that's because onions only give out the pungent smell whenever you cut the onion. Onions need their cells to be damaged. Once the cells are damaged, onions release an enzyme called alinase. And this alinase enzyme will react with a compound called isoanyl. And when the alinase reacts with isoanyl, it gives rise to another compound called propynyl sulfonic acid. And this acid is very unstable. So what happens to it? It rapidly converts itself into thiosulfonates or thiosulfinates. As a result of this, these thiosulfinates and thiosulfonates are the reason why onions have that very pungent smell, the strong flavor that they have. Now, if you look into the names of these compounds, the propynyl sulfonic acid, the thiosulfonates or the thiosulfinates, you can easily understand that they contain sulfur. And yes, sulfur is a very integral component in the flavor of onions. More the sulfur, more is the amount of pungent smell. The stronger the pungent smell will come with more amount of sulfur. Now the question is, where does this onion get the sulfur? Well, the first compound that I mentioned, alinase. Alinase is an enzyme, and enzymes means protein. And proteins contain amino acids, and there are two amino acids specifically that contain sulfur, that is the methionine and the cysteine. And methionine and cysteine both are present in alinase, and as a result they provide the sulfur for forming those compounds, and onions as a result have that pungent smell. Now the amount of sulfur depends on what type of soil they are grown in. If the soil contains more amount of these sulfur containing amino acids, then they will have more pungent smell. The less the amount of sulfur, the less is the pungent smell. But that is all about the smell or the flavor of onions. What about the taste? Well, we all know that our sense of smell is really important for us to taste any substance. And as onions have such a strong pungent smell, they actually dampen their own taste. And as a result, we are not able to understand what the taste of onion is. That means if we want to understand the taste of onions, we must have onions which have lower pungent smell. And yes, we have those onions. There are 4 different types of onions. The red yellow onions, which are very pungent, and there are white and sweet onions which are less pungent in smell. And these white and sweet onions, from the name itself we can understand they have a sweet taste. Now this is because they contain sucrose and fructose, and sucrose and fructose are the sweet agents, sweet carbohydrate compounds that are present in food. Now red and yellow onions also contain this sucrose and fructose, but there is a difference in the composition. In case of the sweet onion or the white onion, there is more amount of fructose and less amount of sucrose. And in case of the red and the yellow onions, we have more sucrose and less fructose. Now fructose is more sweet compared to sucrose, and since these white onions and sweet onions contain more fructose, they have a sweeter taste compared to those of red and the yellow onions. Now as red and yellow have more pungent smell, their low sweet taste is even more overpowered by the smell. But in case of these sweet onions and the white onions, since they have a low pungent smell and more fructose, it enhances their taste of sweetness. Now does this mean that all the onions have a sweet taste? Well, we have to think about that. Well, in some cases, we have certain onions that taste salty or even bitter, and that is completely based on where the onion has been grown. It depends on the environment of the soil in which it is grown. If the soil contains different properties, the taste of the onion is going to be different. Just for example, if the soil contains more salt, then the taste of the onion is going to be salty. But the inherent taste of onions is actually sweet because of the presence of sucrose and fructose that give it a sweet taste, and this can be easily understood when we cook onions. If you see the onions or taste the onions that are present in your dishes, you will see that they give a sweet smell. This is because this pungent smell, the thiosulfonates or the thiosulfinates that are formed, are actually broken down into simpler components, and as a result the pungent smell goes down and the sweet taste of the onions come out in our dishes. But if the environment in which the onions are grown contain more amount of salt or any bitter component, then the onions can also taste salty or bitter. So if we wrap it up, overall, onions can be sweet, salty or bitter. Well, thank you everyone for watching the video, and if you think you learned something new today, then do press the like button and share it with your friends if you think that they need to see this video too. And if you want to see more and more videos like this, then do press subscribe button and also press the notification bell so that you get the information when I put out new videos. And thank you everyone, and until next time, cheers.